This is CNBC's live blog tracking developments on the war in Ukraine. See below for the latest updates. Southern Ukraine and Russia continue to be battered by bad weather, with huge winter storms causing widespread power cuts, losses of water supplies, mass flooding, traffic chaos and destruction. Heavy fighting carries on along the front line in Ukraine, nonetheless. There have been a number of deaths and injuries as a result of a surge in severe weather in recent days, with snowstorms and high winds hitting southern regions of Ukraine particularly hard, as well as Russian-occupied Crimea and southern Russia, especially its Black Sea coastal area. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said in his nightly address on Monday that almost 1,500 settlements in 17 regions across the country had lost power and that engineers are working everywhere to restore supplies. On Tuesday morning, Ukraine's interior minister said at least 10 people were now known to have died in the latest snowstorms. Russian media is also reporting on the scale of the destruction caused by the storms and what it described as a hurricane across southern Russia. 4 people have died and more than 20 have been injured, news agency TASS reported, while almost 2 million people have been left without electricity due to the bad weather. Russian-occupied Crimea has been particularly badly hit, with states of emergency declared in several municipalities of the peninsula. Hurricane wind speeds reportedly reached 144 km per hour, or almost 90 miles per hour, in Crimea. Heavy fighting continues along the front line in Ukraine, against a backdrop of severe weather including snowstorms and high winds that have caused widespread damage to infrastructure, power and water supplies. A cyclone in the Black Sea and southern Ukraine caused infrastructure damage in many areas of coastal southern Russia and occupied Ukraine and is impacting the tempo of military operations along the front line in Ukraine, but has notably not stopped military activity entirely. Analysts at the Institute for the Study of War noted in an analysis report on Monday. Russian sources posted images and footage of the impact of the cyclone on civilian and transportation infrastructure in coastal areas of Krasnodar Krai, including near Sochi, Anapa, Gelendzhik, Novorossiysk, and Taupse, the ISW said. Ukrainian and Russian sources also noted that coastal areas of occupied Crimea, occupied Kherson Oblast, and much of Odesa Oblast were heavily impacted by heavy snow and high winds, leaving large swaths of the population without electricity. The ISW said that Ukraine's navy had noted that dangerous weather in the Black Sea had forced Russia to return all of its naval vessels and missile carriers to their base points. Several sources also reported that the storm damaged rail lines in coastal areas, which may have logistical ramifications for Russian forces in occupied Crimea and southern Ukraine.